My name is Marge White, and I come from Hoyt First Nation.
My name is Buzz Morissette. I'm a member of the Elders Council.
My borrowed name is Ben David. I am from the Nachanos people.
My name's Wally Samuel. I'm from Ahousaht, but I've lived in Port Alberni since 1966.
My name is Donna Samuel. I come from a little reserve called Gitniao in the Gitsan territory.
Classic Gisma from Ahousaht, alias Patty French.
I'm glad to be here, you know. My Indian name is Kanyus. I come out of Alert Bay, the Kwakwakiwa people, but I live in Victoria.
I want to welcome all of you to this workshop this afternoon, and I'm improvising with this arbutus stick so that we can use it as a safeguard or a feeling of security, because traditionally as First Nations people, we always have something in our hand to kind of make us feel comfortable in the way we talk and how we share. And so those of us that have been involved in the Friendship Center for many years have always felt that it's important for us to work with all groups, and I think more recently or in the last few years we have really realized the need to for the elders and the youth to close the generation gap that's between us, because we feel that it's important for us as elders to give you some form of teaching, some form of advice, some form of support.
Indians are Indian. And for us, when we reject our Indianness, we get into trouble, because we're no longer anybody. We're not even Indian. So therefore, the gift I'm offering you is to be yourself. Find yourself. Find yourself. And know as much as you can about yourself, where you come from, where your people come from, what your family are, and where that tribe came from, and what happened. What happened before white man came? Find those out, and you will eventually find that being an Indian is a great thing.
I like to see you guys do something for you, though. Walk out the door today and feel the wind in your face. The Creator's talking to you. You're still above ground and you got things to do. Good things. Sure, you could have fun with each other and not hurt each other. You know, sure, you could go with each other and not be jealous. Jealousy, you know, most of us natives got about 500 relations. You know, as soon as you hug somebody, the girl gets mad or the guy gets mad. That's my cousin, though. You know, and then he beats you up, or you know. It's still happening today. We all got big families. We all come from big families. But there's going to be a change. That change is going to come with you people. That the change is going to come to work with, you know, to bring us into the third dimension, that where we want to go. This land is still ours. It belongs to us. All of it belongs to us. But how are we going to get it? How are we going to get it without throwing it away again? You young people.
I've been involved with the center for quite some years, as my cousin Marge mentioned. The years that I've been involved, I was just a young boy when I got around the Friendship Center. I never knew about it until one of my friends said, "Hey, come on, let's go to the center." This was in Vancouver in 1965. That's 50 years ago. We are probably one of the only organizations in North America that have elders that are caring for you. We care about sharing our knowledge with you. We want you to share your life with us. If you haven't got a grandparent, we would be more than happy to talk to you. We would never turn you down.
Many of our First Nations don't live on our homelands. Many of us live away from home. That's what we want to share with you, our experience of surviving in the city, how to maintain and retain your culture. Many of us are residential school survivors. We're residential school survivors, but they didn't take it away from us. Just remember that. They tried their best to beat it out of us, but we survived. And don't let anybody shun you down. Don't ever let anybody tell you you're not doing it right. I know many people are relearning our language. As a young boy in a house, I knew my language. I spoke my language, a Hausa language, before I spoke English. Many of us are like that. But nowadays, I realize all the integration or mixed marriages, and not only non-natives but other natives, that it's hard to speak our language every day. But try your best. Don't be shy. Don't be ashamed of it. Know who you are, where you're from.
I'm glad that I got this opportunity to say something. I am Gitsan, and I spoke my own language. When I learned how to talk, I didn't talk English. And then we started off in a day school where we were not allowed to speak our language. That's where it actually started, in the day schools. We weren't allowed to speak at all in our language. We had to speak English. And we used to get strappings for that, speaking our own language. After I left the residential school, I still spoke my own language. I had my mom and my dad who used to call me, and we never spoke English while we were talking to each other. This is strange. I have siblings, and we all know our language, but we can't speak it to each other, and we can't figure that out. But it is important to speak your own language. If you don't mind me asking, is anybody learning how to speak their language? Right on. That's awesome. Right on.
I want to talk about Nuchanos. What does Nuchanos mean? In our language, Nuchi is mountain. Nut means alongside of. We are people that live alongside the mountain, Nuchanos. And I believe we all know the meaning of our tribes. I'm married into the Heshka tribe, which means Hesh, Hesha, Heshkui, At means from. A male from At, Heshkui, At. And Heshkui means that a man must have asked for a herring roe on the seagrass. And the person that was hosting the feast had to get it from, so he got him a canoe load. They hosted the canoe up to the hall and gave it to him. He had to sit there and take the seagrass into his mouth and pull it and leave the roe in his mouth. You got Hesh Hesha. So we're Heshkwit.
I got hired to go work in Tofino off reserve from home, and I'm scared. I'm just totally terrified. I was thinking I'm going to do all the wrong things. I'm going to do this. And I started crying. And she says, don't be afraid. Go talk to your uncle. So I went to talk to my uncle. We're sitting in a garden. He said, look at all these flowers and plants in here. What do they have in common? And I didn't know what to say, and he walked away. You think about it. So I thought about it. He came back, and he says, did you figure it out? I said, yeah, kind of. The stems and the leaves are all green, but all the flowers and the plants are all different colors. And he said, yeah, that's how we are. We all have the same blood running in our veins, every one of us, same color. We all have the same feelings in our heart, our same thoughts in our head. All Tlitmoxti.
We don't use heart.
Yeah, Tlitmoxti is my most inner feelings.
You know, as teenagers, sometimes it's really difficult for you to, to make a decision because you have friends or you have associates or you have influences that, that put you into position as to which way you really want to go, which way, shall I go, and so. But always remember that this is your life. This is what you take the action that you know is going to be the best action for you, because you're very important, not only to your family, but to the community that you come from the people that you meet at functions like this, the people that have, given you some leadership points to help you on your way. Just always think about that you have that choice to be the person that you really want to be.
Well, I'm really grateful that you guys have this workshop open to youth, because some youth are really scared to approach an elder, and it could be really hard at times for some people to come and just sit and talk with elders. And whereas where there's a workshop, it's a safe space, and I'm really glad that you have many different elders here from different places.
I'm really happy to be here. I love these workshops and youth conferences. Helps me kind of get out of my shell, and I'm kind of new to public speaking, and I get so nervous, but it kind of just flows sometimes. Ushaksh Kletsu, thank you for sharing your stories.
I always wanted to learn my language, but there's not a lot of elders out there that really know my specific language. But when I did meet one of the elders, the first word that I learned was kukstum, means thank you, because I'm very grateful to be here. I was brought up in foster care. It was definitely an interesting experience. I know there's a lot of people that think that foster care may not be a good thing. Some people think it is. Me personally, I think family is the greatest thing that you can give someone. It gives a person a sense of belonging, especially for me, because my family brought me up to my land, brought me home basically, and it was such a great, powerful, moving thing that it just made me want to get into my culture and really find some sense of identity.
I always love hearing from the elders, hearing their stories. I really appreciate you guys telling your stories. It's always awesome to hear stories from back then, what happened, how we saved our culture, how close it was that we almost lost it. And I'm really thankful for this workshop, for the elders to share some words. And I always come to this workshop every year and hear new stories, some new elders. Thanks.